Okay, well, we welcome you to another segment. What are we calling this, Frank?
Segments.
We welcome you to another segment of our exploration into teen brains and how screens and social media are affecting them. We have with us today Rajani. And Rajani, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. You can say whatever you'd like to about yourself and we'll all believe it.
Okay. My name is Rajani Rastogi, and I'm a licensed social worker with about 20 years of social work experience, mainly in a medical hospital setting. And the last 4 years I've been at Hamilton High School as the school social worker.
How about sexting? Is that a problem in high school?
Yes, absolutely. I'm surprised how big of a problem it is. And I do hear, kids that come to my office. There's situations where, there's messages or visual photos that go around, and it's devastating to the person whose information is being shared.
So it's typically a girl or a boy shares it with, they think, just one person.
They think it's one person.
But then that trust is violated.
Exactly. But then it goes throughout the whole school, And that's so devastating because that alone has led to kids having anxiety, depression, and kids with suicidal thoughts. And, kids in general, kids take their lives because they're just devastated that they're violated. It's degrading, and their whole self-respect is, affected, and then a lot of times they don't talk to their parents.
Right, they're ashamed.
Because they're ashamed, because of shame, and they just feel like maybe they trusted this person, and they just have such low self-esteem, and so those are difficult situations, and that's when I feel like it's really important to get the parents involved, and get authorities involved, and whoever can protect this child, we need to get them involved, and then obviously if we know who the kids are that did this, then we want to make sure they understand the repercussions.
Yeah.
But these kids need a lot of support and counseling because it can be lifelong unless you address it, early on.
Yeah. And
get them the interventions they need. And I do run 2 support groups here for girls that struggle with anxiety, depression, and self-harm, and we have one for boys that the other social worker runs.
So all that stuff you just mentioned, you think is pretty intrinsically related with sexting? Body image especially, probably.
Absolutely, yes.
So if a child or a teenager shares a really intimate photo with another person, they're being very vulnerable.
Absolutely.
And then that vulnerability is abused and violated. And so they don't get any validation, they get exploitation.
Exploitation, yes.
And that causes some deep emotional scarring that takes maybe years to correct.
And see, I feel, my opinion is sometimes kids will send photos or, they want to be accepted, right?
Yeah.
They are so vulnerable, and they think that everything's so instant, right?
Yeah.
You send that, you may regret it after, but you send it and it happens so quick.
There's no unsend button.
There's no unsend, and they don't realize the ramifications that this is out on the web for everyone to access, eventually. I mean, if it's there, you can't take it back.
Yeah.
But kids don't realize that. They think, oh, Snapchat, I delete it, it's gone, And so it's sad, but kids, like we said, their brains are not 100% developed. They're not thinking, and it's more impulsive, and they're emotional beings. And
immediate gratification.
Just immediate, exactly.
To close this up, I want to kind of pull back what you said from earlier about and tie it to what you just said. These kids have half-developed brains. We need parents in the homes, at the family dinner table, to be educating, to be responsible. When it comes to giving a kid a smartphone, they need to be the prefrontal cortex that helps these kids with underdeveloped brains. As parents, we need to educate these kids that what they're holding in their hand is not a phone.
Right.
It's instant gratification. It's cocaine. It's heroin. It's you take your pick at any drug you want out of this little screen. So I really hear you saying that parents, we've got to step up quite a bit, and maybe school administrators, counselors, people in the community. We need to step up and be adults. Quit buying these kids phones when they're 10 years old and expecting them to be responsible with it. There's no education granted.
Right. Right.
Yeah.